morning, guys. It's still morning, but the question is, my partner has had an affair, the statement, and it's often one that I hear in the counselling room. My partner has had an affair. What am I going to do? And you know, it's a devastating moment when that happens. It's the ultimate betrayal in a marriage. It deeply hurts both people. You know, you think about the dreams and the hopes that they might have had have now come crashing down. The one that was betrayed, they're developing symptoms of post-traumatic stress. It really is devastating. But the thing is, statistics tell us that it's extremely common. A physical affair, an emotional affair, an online affair or cyber affair. But let me tell you a few statistics about that. The average affair lasts between 6 and 18 months. And only 5 to 7% of those affairs lead to marriage. And so that's, you could say what started out with excitement leads to regret in so many levels. You know, and as I say, it is definitely destructive for both people. And the reason it's so destructive, not only to the people, but to the relationship, is the very foundations of a great relationship is trust and commitment. So you think about, if you liken your relationship to a building, the two pillars of that is trust and commitment. So both of those things have been deeply impacted. In fact, if a marriage did come out of that affair, then, you know, there's quite a bit of underlying mistrust in the relationship from the very start. So it does, those two foundational things have just been hit pretty hard. But I want to give you some good news, because the truth is that it can be repaired. If you have been through an affair, or your partner has just had an affair and you're sitting with this devastating news, it can be repaired. I know there's a whole lot of emotion and a whole lot of stuff that you have to go through to get through that, but there is hope. And I've helped many couples rebuild their relationship, and often the relationship gets even better than it was before. You know, I wouldn't recommend it, but it's that kind of pinpoint focus that they place on the relationship that kind of brings it to life again, and they're determined to make it stronger than ever. So that's a good thing. But there's two things that I quickly wanted to talk to you about that kind of really determines, what do I do? My partner's had an affair. The first thing you want to see from the one that has had an affair is remorse, like total remorse. They're sorry, they can't believe they've done what they've done, and, you know, they recognise that it's 100% their fault. So they're not saying, well, if you had done that, then I wouldn't have gone out and had an affair. Like, that's not appropriate. It's 100% of their fault. Even if there were issues in the relationship, which there always is, you know, that's life, right? There's a whole lot better way to handle them than to go out and have an affair, right? So we want remorse. We want them to take responsibility. We want to hear the kind of words you want to hear when they do feel remorseful. And the second thing is openness and honesty. From this point on, because it's been a secret, because it's been hidden, anything that's secret or hidden in a marriage is never, ever good. It's the beginning of betrayal. But that they have to be an open book. So that means they're going to have to answer a whole lot of questions. And honestly, those questions can go on for months and months, you know, because, you know, someone who's got post-traumatic stress, they've been through that, they're wanting to kind of understand the why, and they're wanting to put it together in their head, like, how did this happen? Why did this happen? Answering all those questions within themselves. So there'll be a lot of questions that they'll want to know, and the person who betrayed has to be willing. They're not going to like that, because it makes them feel more guilt and more shame, but they have to be prepared to answer those questions. Like, obviously you don't want graphic answers, but to be able to, you know, give that other person some kind of hope. And also part of openness and honesty is actually making sure that from now on we don't have any passwords on our phones, on our laptops. Like, we have an open book, our accounts are known, they can check your phone whenever they want. All of that stuff is part of building trust in the other person. So, you know, there's just a couple of things you kind of want to look at. There's a whole lot more in depth dealing with the hurt, dealing with you know, putting new boundaries in, and a whole lot of other stuff in affair recovery. But there's just two things you want to look at. And I'm telling you that trust will build slowly. It's had a massive hit to the trust in your relationship. You know, a lot of it's going to be not so much about what you say, but by what you do. You know, what you say doesn't mean as much. It's actually how you act, how you treat him, her, you know, what you do from this point on. So I hope that's given you a little bit of information to start with. I would encourage you, if that's you, to go and get professional help. Yes, a great friend is handy, but she's a little bit biased. He's a little bit biased. You really need professional help to walk you through that. And, you know, we've got topics like that in the marriage playbook. So get this in your hands. It's got lots of things to communicate about, lots of fun things to do with your partner, to build intimacy, to build passion, to build what you've got in your hands and make that strong, so that you'll be much more protected against things like affairs. So have a great day. Unbreakablelove.org is where you'll get the marriage playbook, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.